Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with my review of Jurassic World, which I had the pleasure of seeing a few days ago. First off, basic overview. I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. I mean, it was nothing deep or life affirming or emotionally moving, but you know, it was fun. Simply put. So, the plot for those who might not have figured it out. Movie's set about 22 years after the original Jurassic Park movie. InGen has set up a resort slash park on Isla Nublar, which has been operating for at least 10 years. Basically, what I would describe would be think Disney World with a focus on dinosaurs instead of Disney. However, they're apparently faced with the fact that, and this is a concept that blows my mind, but apparently dinosaurs are no longer a big deal. This leads to the creation of a hybrid, the Indominus Rex. At the point the movie takes place, the Indominus has not yet been revealed to the public. It's still basically they're trying to domesticate it into a park attraction. I'll say this: I will say this much about it: it is at least part Tyrannosaurus, as well as other creatures. So yeah. But now, concerning that whole thing about dinosaurs no longer being a big deal, I'm sorry. If I lived in a world where Jurassic Park was a thing, I'd try to go there at least every 5 years, if not hell, once a year, just to see dinosaurs in the flesh, you know. But that's me. That's kind of how I roll. Anyway, so the Indominus Rex gets loose and wreaks havoc. Because, well, you know, nobody learns. An interesting thing about the characters, which I'm about to get, who I will individually be getting to, at least the primary ones, is that, and this is mainly just the characters that somehow earn a living based off the park itself, well, the resort itself. It's how they regard the dinosaurs. Some, such as the Chris Pratt character Owen Grady, he's, as many, at least I've figured from the trailers, he's the raptor trainer. He actually regards these as living, breathing animals, which they are. Whereas the Bryce Dallas Howard character, she's one of the administrative people at the park, she views them as little more, you know, patented theme park attractions. Nothing more. It's not an animal. It's a theme park attraction. We can make a new one if we have to. Anyways, moving on to the primary characters. First off, like I mentioned, we have Owen Grady, played by Chris Pratt. He's the raptor trainer. It's also hinted he has a military background. Claire Deering, Bryce Dallas Howard, who is the operations manager for the park. Very blue blood, upper crust. You know, she plans out everything, you know, to the, I would say, to the picosecond probably. Then you have Zach and Gray Mitchell, who are Claire's nephews, and for all intents and purposes, a plot device, simply put. And you have Vic Hoskins, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, as the head of security operations for InGen. There's also, there's a plethora of InGen-related characters. Hoskins has his own motives for being around the park and viewing the animals. And now this character is primary character, but it's noteworthy. He's noteworthy because of the fact he is the only returning character. That's Dr. Henry Wu, played by B.D. Wong. He's the head of the dinosaur creation, the team that made the dinosaurs in the first movie as well as this movie. The good. First off, it's a fun movie. It really is. It's just really, there's some really neat things. But anyways, it's decently paced. it does. It does have it's when it slows down. It doesn't completely slow. The plot doesn't completely slow down. It slows down just enough so that you can, you can kind of catch your breath, and you start to wonder, okay, what's going to happen next? The dinosaurs look great. They're pretty much all CGI this time, but they look great. I actually do not remember seeing a point where the CGI looked crappy. The characters, the characters employed by the park, they made sense. You didn't have characters kind of like, oh well, yes, we have this person because we wanted to have a character like this. And there were nods to past movies that were amusing, and I don't mean things like someone talking about what happened in San Diego, or how, or maybe, or even something from the business that William H. Macy's character ran in Jurassic World, but little tiny things like a picture of Jeff Goldblum on the back of a hardcover book, a messy workstation. There's a Spinosaurus skeleton on display. It's just little things. Well, there's also some locations, or some in-film locations from the first movie utilized, namely the visitor center from the original movie, which has been abandoned since the events of the original movie. And in fact, that the original park location on Isla Nublar is if I remember correctly, is actually part of what is designated on the island as the restricted area. Now the bad, there were some little nitpicky things, and in fact, the biggest one of those is spoilery. So I'm not going to say what it is, but it's kind of spoilery, and I'm sure when all of you who haven't seen it yet do see it, you'll pick up on it too. As I mentioned, the kids are little more than plot devices, and they're I don't want to say necessarily generic, but well, the older one is definitely generic, but their plot line is extremely generic. It seems like the only reason they exist in the movie is to give Claire a reason to do more than just find Chris Pratt and stay in the operations center. Now the in-between. It's unclear whether or not The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 still happened or not. Basically, like I said, no mention is made of anything directly from these. Isla Sorna, for example, is not even mentioned by anybody. But the thing is, potentially speaking, they can still exist. I guess I don't remember if they gave an exact number of years for how long the resort had been open for, but I know it's been at least 10, and well, all of that would mean that if it's a 10-year time period from the opening of the resort to the Jurassic World, then it still works. That you can still have those have happened, but otherwise, no, not so much. The possibility of sequels is very clear, and it's a little. It's cool on the one hand because, hey, this was a fun movie. I will happily go see. I will probably gladly go see more Jurassic Park sequels. But at the same time, a sequel just really isn't necessary. And There's also the fact that this is also an issue I have with Jurassic Park 3, is that every Jurassic Park movie since the Lost World, after the Lost World, is basically Universal saying, "Hey, we have the rights to this. Let's make some more money off of it." Which, hey, they're in business. It's understandable. I don't have to entirely like it though, but I'll watch the movies as long as they're, decent quality. Hell, truth be told, I'll probably watch movies that they're shitty quality. In conclusion, if you are looking for loud, escapist fun with dinosaurs, totally go see this. It's worth the 2 hours. But don't expect anything much more than a popcorn movie. Well, that's it for the review. We'll be back. I'll be back on Wednesday with a weekly TV roundup related video, though not an actual roundup, as all my shows are over. And then, of course, we'll be back on Saturday as well. As always, feel free to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to follow me on social media. Links to both Twitter and Facebook are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.